From the Academy Award-winning director of The Hurt Locker comes one of the best vampire movies there is. It's Near Dark. Love this movie. Love this movie. It's so great. Okay, first things first. I mean, basically it's like an Aliens reunion. I mean, you got Bill Paxton, you got Lance Henriksen, Jeanette Goldstein, Sigourney Weaver. No, she's not in it, but you got them. Basically, movies about, this, Southern kid who gets mixed up in the world of vampires because a cute girl turned him into one. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And it's kind of like, him going on the road with them and getting into trouble. But, I can't really describe it with justice. I mean, the movie basically is, it's not a complicated plot. I mean, it's a fairly basic plot, but it's just about the characters themselves and their interactions. And what I liked about the movie is that the vampires portrayed here, they are seasoned. I mean, they've been around for a while. They're family. You got the kid vampire, but the kid vampire is like fucking, hundreds of years old, or something like that. I don't know. But it would suck to be in a kid's body, and they don't shy away from the oddities of it, which I really liked. And you see the different people, or vampires, who deal with being vampires, and how they use or abuse or just kind of deal with their powers and this amazing, crazy thing that's happened to them. I mean, it's an everyday thing, which you don't see too often from a movie like this. It always has to be so grandiose or however you pronounce it. It has to be like this huge thing to be a vampire. But here, I mean, they're pretty much just like normal people. I mean, they're troublemakers, sure. They're criminals, sure. But they do have this camaraderie amongst themselves because they know they're these outsiders. And they're letting the right one in, sort of, with that one kid. But yeah, I mean, it's from the '80s. It's not too bad, with feeling too '80s, feeling too dated. I mean, it's definitely a timeless story. I mean, I like the fact that it does take place in the more southern regions, because hey, hello, the sun, so that makes it interesting. And they don't sparkle, which is great. I'll gladly keep this cover. I mean, I don't know if you've seen the special edition Blu-ray, but it looks like a fucking Twilight movie, which is just... that's not right. This movie is better than Twilight. Portrays vampires in a lot better way than Twilight could dream of. But yeah, interesting that Kathryn Bigelow, I mean, she directed this. She doesn't... since the 80s, I mean, how many movies has she really directed? Not that many. Hurt Locker, of course, was really a standout since it won the Oscar and everything. But there's Strange Days. So very, very interesting and diverse director when you think about it. The way her approach, I mean, you can tell with the movies, no matter what the subject matter is, but she has an attention to the characters, which I really, really like. Hurt Locker. Anybody else, you just see like a soldier, or Strange Days. I mean, you just see, these weird people, but she kind of humanizes the unhuman, like what anybody at first glance would see as unhuman, so, which is the case with the vampires here. I mean, there's a temptation to make vampires these, ghastly creatures, but here they're very human. It's a very everyday thing, and again, I talked about this in other reviews, but the commonality about it, that's the key. I mean, they're just dealing with that, and so I think the characterization makes this movie what it is. I mean, of course, it's a very fun movie, and eventually, yes, it does go to the big showdown, and the carnage happens, and that's a lot of fun, but at the end of the day, they're, real characters, and they're fighting about, issues that are important to them, I guess. So I think it's a very well done movie. I mean, it's a little bit underrated, but the acting is great, great atmosphere, very well done. Love this movie. Thanks for watching.